How's it going, everybody? Today we're going to be doing a transmission fluid change on a 2022 Grand Wagoneer. This does have the 6.4 liter Hemi, and it has the 8 HP 75 transmission. Now, those transmissions have a plastic pan, like many other Jeeps and Chrysler products. This pan we're going to be putting in today is an aftermarket by PPE. It is a heavy-duty cast aluminum transmission pan. And unlike the OEM transmission pan where the filter is built into the pan itself and you got to replace that each time you want to do the filter change, this has a removable transmission filter. This also has cooling fins and an extra quart capacity, aiding in better cooling. So overall, this is a better option for a couple of different reasons. We're going to be using the AMSOIL Heavy Duty Signature Series automatic transmission fluid. You need the fuel efficient version for this vehicle. For this procedure, we should use about 6 quarts, could be maybe a little more since this has an extra quart capacity, but we will see. We're going to give this a shot. I'm going to note right now, PPE does not have this vehicle listed as a compatible vehicle for this transmission pan. I don't think there's been enough interest or demand for them to, figure out if it fits or not. I'm kind of guinea pig in this right now, but this goes to an 8 HP 75 transmission pan. So in theory, this should bolt right up to this transmission, but we're going to find out right now. All right, so conveniently, they have the drain bolt for the OEM pan right above the exhaust. So there's barely enough, even with jacking the transmission up, to get a 10 millimeter Allen up in there. I got it started, then I used a flathead screwdriver to kind of go up in there and get it loose. But once you get it about halfway, you can get it by hand. I was kind of waiting for it to dribble out a little bit. But yeah, that's nice. So if you're gonna try to remove the drain bolt, you probably could just undo the pan and just deal with the mess of having it go everywhere without doing the drain bolt, but figured I'd give it a shot and see what it's like. So there's just 3 transmission bolts, or mount bolts. They are 15 millimeter. Use the impact 1, 2, and 3, and then you just simply remove those and then jack the transmission up. I used a bottle jack. If you're doing this out in the driveway, you could use a floor jack, but that's where I'm at so far. All right, we're just about all drained out there. Now we're going to do the transmission bolts, or transmission pan bolts, T40 Torx. We're going to use the 3/8 impact to get them out. And then when we put them back in, we're going to put them in by hand and then use the 1/4 inch torque wrench. We're going to start with 7 foot-pounds and probably go maybe 8 after that. Snug them all up. That's about all the way they need to be. And hopefully this new pan fits. All right, we just about got all the pan bolts out. We have one here right above the exhaust and one here. It's kind of hard to get to with the extension and impact, so we're going to use the ratchet and a little short stubby. All right, so now we can see our OEM next to our aftermarket. There you can see the extra quart capacity they give you. And I really hope that these extra fins here are not gonna bind me up against the exhaust. But we're gonna find out. I did some rough measurements with the tape measure, and by my estimates it should fit, but it's a little bit greater difference than I thought it would be, but we're gonna find out here. Let's take the old gasket off. All right, so the PPE aftermarket transmission did not seem to seat very well into this transmission filter hole. It seemed like the bolts almost lined up, and also it would need a flat gasket or RTV. So I'm just gonna play it safe, and I went and got this old one. This is a new OEM, so it has a built-in filter that you cannot replace without replacing the whole entire pan. So we're gonna bolt this OEM one up. It comes with new bolts. Cost me like $312. Here's the ticket and part number. It's right there. This is for the 2022 Grand Wagoneer. So yeah, you still want to jack up the transmission, make this easier. The drain bolt is already in there from factory, and the gasket is already in there from factory. I recommend going through and lubing the gasket up so it makes a nice seal, and lube your O-ring around here pretty good oil as well. But we're going to put that up in, then we're going to start with the refill procedure. Alright, we've got the 8mm Allen filled plug out. I torqued these all to 80 inch-pounds. I believe they call somewhere between 84 to 96 inch-pounds. I'm comfortable at 80. We've got 5 quarts loaded up in here. It's a hand pump. Stick this in the fill hole, and we're gonna fill this up, this initial part, until it starts coming out of the hole. Then we're gonna put the fill plug back in, and we're going to start the vehicle, let it run and park, take the fill plug out, and then we should be able to pump some more in while the vehicle is running. And again, you're gonna pump it in while it's running until it starts trickling out. Then the next step, we're gonna put the fill plug back in. Then we're gonna go through all the gears, put it into reverse, neutral, drive, first gear, and then also second gear. For that part, you're gonna need to have, in this case, all 4 wheels off the ground, because this is all-wheel drive. And you'll need to go through all the different gears and cycle it through. And then you're gonna pull the fill plug again, and see if you need to add any, or you might be over full, and then when you have it in park after you've run it through the gears and you open it up, you let it drain out until it's just a trickle, and then put it back in, you're good to go. All right, so I was able to get about 3 quarts. I had it up to 5 here. I was able to get about 3 quarts in before it started dribbling out. So we're gonna close up the plug now and then put it in park and let it run. And then we're gonna fill it while it runs. All right, as you can see here, we're running, it's in park. Started filling it up until we got to a dribble right here. And now at this point, when the steady stream stops, you'll put the fill plug back in. And then after this, you'll do the procedure where you get the wheels off the ground, put it in reverse, put it in neutral, put it in drive, put it in from first, and then the second gear. Cycle through that a few different times, and then you'll come back and do the same procedure until it goes to a drip like this. Put the plug back in and you're done. It took more fluid than I thought it would take to do just for this part. Took about 5.5 quarts. And that was filling it up until it came out, then going up and putting it in park, and then coming out here, pulling the plug, and then filling it up again until it came to a steady stream. All right, so on the very last step of checking the fluid, you want to check it somewhere between like 90 to 120 degrees, I believe it is. And you're supposed to like lift the vehicle up off the ground. It's all-wheel drive, so you get all 4 wheels off the ground. Put it into drive, put it in reverse, put it in neutral, put put it in drive, first gear, second gear. I kind of did it the way you're not recommended to do it. I went out and just drove it. I have to tell you, the difference between the Mopar OEM fluid that was in there and the AMSOIL ATF is night and day. The shifts are extremely smooth. I mean, way smoother. Like before, I mean, like you could feel the shifts. I mean, there was feedback in the shifts. Now it's like they're just gliding right through every one of them. So since I went out and drove it, I put it through all the different gears, put it through neutral, reverse, put it in first all the way through eighth on the highway, and romped on it a few times. And now I'm going to bring it on the lift. Now that's in the temperature range, I'm going to check the fluid. We're going to pull the fill plug and see if anything drips out. If nothing drips out, we're going to add a little bit till it drips out. If some drips out, we're going to let it drip out until it's just a trickle. And then you put it plug back in, then you're done. That's the end of the procedure, and you've now changed your transmission fluid. Well, I pulled the plug and we're not getting anything out, so we're gonna have to add some. Alright, so it was, I don't know, maybe an eighth of a quart maybe I had to add to it. So it was pretty much right there. So we're gonna let it trickle out a little more. Then we're gonna throw the plug in it and then we're all done. That's all there is to it. A little tedious, but not real hard. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and I'll leave you some links for the OEM part number for the pan, which also has a filter in it, and then also for the AMSOIL as well. Highly recommend the AMSOIL. I know I'm a little biased, but man, I'm amazed by my own products that I sell every time, especially when I go from OEM fluid to the AMSOIL. It's like throwing butter in there. It's amazing stuff. I mean, they really make a product that just blows anything else out of the water. And make sure you use gloves and stuff, because obviously this is real hot right here. So that's the end of this video, and stay tuned for the next one.